Hello everyone and welcome to another video by Centipede Geek. Today I'm going to review an FX television series by the name of The Americans. I'm going to talk about Season 2, Episode 1, titled Comrades. The Americans stars actors and actresses by the name of Matthew Rhys, Carrie Russell, and Noah Emmerich. And if you've been keeping up with The Americans, you pretty much know what's going on. In Episode 1, we pretty much have, the couple of Philip and Elizabeth are two, Russian spies, have, they're back together now. Their marriage is doing, a lot better than it has been. They're living in the same house now, taking care of their kids. And this episode pretty much focuses on their marriage. The plot of Season 2 doesn't actually really even get introduced until, the last 10-15 minutes of this episode, just so you guys know. Major spoilers are coming up. And we find out the plot, as what the plot actually is that there is somebody out there, we don't know who yet, but I'm sure we'll find out, probably towards the end of Season 2, someone out there is killing off Russian spies. And there was actually a whole family, not just the Russian spies, but a whole family, including the kids, dies at a carnival, and it's actually a close friend of Matthew Rhys and Carrie Russell's characters. So we pretty much have our two main, Russian spies, Philip and Elizabeth's character. You can pretty much really see where the entire season's going to go. Who is killing off the spies, who is the threat, and, pretty much, they're going to have to take down this threat. Is it Noah Emmerich's character? Is it Stan's character? The cop, is he the one taking out the spies? And I'm sure all these questions will be answered. That's pretty much the main gist of Episode 1 and probably the rest of the season for the FX television series by the name of The Americans, Season 2, Episode 1, titled Comrades. Overall, my thoughts and opinions and review of this episode, this is an amazing episode. Episode 1 of Season 2 of The Americans reminded me of all the reasons why I love the first season of The Americans. Let's talk about actors first off. First off, let's talk about the character of Stan, played by the actor of Noah Emmerich. I really enjoy him. I love his relationship between him and Matthew Rhys' character, Philip's character. I love, obviously Philip knows he's a cop. He's the one looking after, looking for the spies. But Stan's character has no idea what he's gotten himself into. He has no idea that his best friend is actually a Russian KGB officer spy. So I like that whole concept of, obviously from the first season. I like how it plays itself in the second season. I also like the character of Carrie Russell. For a good chunk, of the first season, she was taking care of the kids. She was doing a lot of the work. She was, and Matthew Rhys' character, Philip's character, would only see the kids every now and then. So she is just great. Her whole persona, she's a great character. My favorite character, though, in The Americans is Philip's character, played by the actor of Matthew Rhys. He is a great character. He's a caring father. I just love his, this is his character's personality. You could tell that he does care for his kids. He did do his part in the first season, even though he only got to see his kids part of the time. You could still see that he was a caring father. He cared for his kids, but not only that, he was a caring husband that also cared for his wife. Matthew Rhys just plays a great character. Overall, I really like him. I also like Margot Martindale's character playing the role of Claudia. She wasn't in this episode, but you saw that, she is going to be somewhere in the season because she was in the promo for the entire season in general. If you watched after that, you would have seen that. Recently, she got cast in the CBS television series by the name of The Millers. But overall, she's another one of my favorite characters. Matthew Rhys plays a great character. I love the vibe. I like how this one's kind of a slow build. It's about their marriage. They're worried about their kids. Paige walks in on them, doing some sexual activity. So they're worried about their kids finding out too much about them. They're worried about their kids finding out that they're, Russian KGB officer spies. So I like the whole concept there also. Another great thing about The Americans was, that great build-up, but that last 15 minutes is probably my favorite part where, out of nowhere, he had to do a job. He wasn't prepared. He had to protect his family while also trying to, do the job that he was sent to America to do. So I love the whole intertwining concept. And then out of nowhere, a whole family of Russians die, and then that kind of sets the tone for the entire series. Who's killing them off? Who's the threat? overall, this episode was very entertaining. It, put me on the edge of my seat, making me very curious, making me, wondering the big question of the series: who is the threat? Who's the person that's killing off these spies? And, are Philip and Elizabeth in danger? It seems as if they might be. And then we have other plot elements, the fake wife that, Philip married, is she going to find out who he really is? Is Stan going to find out? Is Stan going to convert to being a Russian? Is he going to start working for the Russian government instead of working for the American government? You had that whole plot line going on. So there's several different subplots going on in the FX television series by the name of The Americans. That's pretty much my review. A great episode and a great start to a series. Curious to see where it's gonna go. Once again, thanks for watching another video by Centipede Geek for my FX television series review of the series by the name of The Americans for Season 2, Episode 1, titled Comrades. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the page below. And I'll see you guys later for more videos by Centipede Geek.